which is being fed by the North Sea right here in the Binnenalster, and is 1 lap out there through the bridge there that we talked about over to the Ossenalster. Then they will do the halfway mark over there. We've got the Diamond Head there where they'll turn around and make their way back in. 3.8 kilometres the distance, or 2.4 miles as they come in. They'll run up the ramp and into the transition area where they'll collect their bikes and head out.
Yeah, the 180-kilometre bike course consists of 2 loops which lead from the Ballendam along some of the best sites such as the Ribberbahn, the Fish Market, the Landresbrücken, out into the idyllic Via und Marschlander. The route profile is fast and flat and perfect conditions for a new personal best time.
Once they get back into town, they'll get out to the transition area there. That is the full gas bike course, and get over to the Hoka Run course, and it's going to be 4 laps today, 42.2 kilometres in total underneath the Red Bull Arch there as they head out around the northern part of this course, and that is the Ossenalster, as you can see there in the foreground. As they make their U-turns, they'll make their way back into town where they'll complete this 4 times. There you go on the 2nd and 3rd laps. And the final time, they'll come back into the finish line here in Hamburg. And as they call it down here, they are very fanatical, the fans. And we will see an incredible finish line here today in Hamburg. So as we watch some of our athletes warming up here, these are the pro male athletes here in their little pen, just getting underway there with their warm-ups and their final preparations. Got our athletes in our men's professional divisions wearing the coloured swim caps there today, so it'll be pretty easy to get an idea on who is where and how they're swimming. So we will give you updated information on that as soon as we get it. The VinFast Ironman World Championship Nice, France qualifiers already there. The professional menu, you can see Sam Appo from Australia, got Bakkegaard. You can see that Christian Blumenfeld are in there with Gustav Eden, but they will not be taking place this year, rather focusing their efforts, on the Olympic Games. You saw that Dennis Chavreau is in there, and then we can finish off with Max Neumann from Australia and Joe Skipper, just to name a few.
Yeah, as you saw, some of the athletes that are actually competing today already have their spots. Jan Frodeno is one of them, Dennis Chavreau. So they're here just to come away with a European Championship title for them, and also just test the bodies and see how they're going on their road to Nice later this year in September.
Yeah, and also, we didn't talk about it, but Matty Hansen, the American.
There he is.
Yep, right
on screen right now, yeah.
Yep. So Matty's chose to, take on a fairly challenging year. Said he wanted to challenge himself this year and go to all the championship races. I mean, that's high expectations, but I tell you what, if you're going to, take the bull by the horns, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, definitely. And unfortunately, he had a bike accident at the Ironman Texas earlier this year, sustained a little bit of a back injury. I was talking to his coach earlier this week, Julie Dibbins, and she's really happy with how his prep's gone since Ironman Texas. He's been over checking out the Nice course and thought, why not? I'll go and race the European Championships while I'm at it, and he feels good. And look, this guy, his swim definitely isn't his strength, but if he stays close enough on the bike, wait for him on the run, and he's the sort of guy that will not give up till he crosses the finishing line. I love the way he races. Yeah,
he loves to chase them down, and he says that he gets excited. He gets from strength to strength. Actually builds his strength right throughout the race there. Like you say, he just comes from behind just a little bit on the swim. He gets better on the bike ride, and then when you're on the run, look out for Matt Hansen, because he can run him down. But he's going to be chasing people like Josh Amberger and Jan Frodeno, Florian Angert's going to be right up there. You got Jesper Svensson.
Some great swimmers.
Some great swimmers in this, and it's going to be important for a lot of those athletes to get off to a good start there today, Joe, because the pace will be on from the outset.
Yeah, no, totally. I totally agree with that. And yes, some of the best swimmers in the sport are here today. We talked about Josh Amberger from Australia. He's known to lead the Hawaii Ironman swim quite often. And look, Jan Frodeno is one of the best swimmers in the sport, all-round athletes in the sport, obviously. Florian Ungert, a very, very good swimmer. So expect to have probably a very select group of swimmers there, maybe six or so, that maybe try and clear away from the rest. And people like Matt Hansen will definitely try to limit their losses. And because it's a wetsuit and a flat swim, he may actually be able to keep within a few minutes, which would be really ideal for his overall day of racing.
Yeah, that would be ideal. You don't want to, give up too much at the first part of the race there, and just, have to go from the very outset, on the bike ride, and have to push hard too early. They call it burning the candles or burning the wick, and you don't want to have to do that because nutrition is the name of the game. They've got a perfect day here. It's a little bit cooler outside temperature, but it's nice and warm in the water there, so they'll appreciate jumping into the water and getting their days started as well. And it's going to pick up. You know, the temperature will rise here fairly quickly and get up into the, you know, the high teens, and then, you know, right up to that 20 degree mark Celsius, around about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and then they will be underway with their race here. We're looking at beautiful pictures and images right now of this beautiful city, Hamburg, the second largest of the German cities, with 1.85 inhabitants right here as we get set for a start of the 2023 Ironman European Championship for our men. The women, well, they're on deck. They'll be coming up July 2nd in Frankfurt. Don't go away. I'm going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Fullgas is the indoor training software that our coaching business relies on.
Our private club room makes it super easy to meet up for group rides, not wasting any time. It's the first thing they see when they log in.
My athletes have never been more prepared for the specific demands of each bike course.
It works for first-timers, professionals and everyone in between.
Full Gas has transformed the way that I train my athletes.
The Ironman European Championship males are up here in Hamburg, and we are just about to get set and send them off into the Binnenalster, then over to the Ossenalster. We got the two lakes here this morning, and then they will be underway with their race here. And Joe, we've got a beautiful Roca swim course set up here. It's pretty easy to navigate your way around this one.
Yeah, it seems that way. Just one lap, and here we got Josh Amberger on screen here. Watch for him to take it up pretty fast.
Love the moustache.
Yeah, jury's out on the moustache. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, yeah, Josh probably has the fastest takeout speed of any of the athletes. So it really depends on how he wants to play this tactically. He has been known to just blow it out of the water in the first few hundred and get a gap. But with such a good swimming group with Jan and Florian Ungert, don't be surprised if he actually just waits and sort of just tries to conserve some energy, because it's a long day of racing with the bike and run, and yeah, it's no really advantage for him to go and lead the swim today, I don't think. So I think he'll probably be a little bit more conservative.
I think we've learned over the last couple of years that, you know, Josh is, you know, when he first got into Ironman triathlon, he absolutely went out there and he smacked it and just gave it everything that he had and wanted to build up that big lead. But he's a smarter racer now, and he knows that he's got to go off and do a bike and a run, and there's no use, you know, going too hard too soon. However, if he wants to break that group up and just, you know, tow a few people like, you know, Jan Frodeno and, you know, Svensson and guys like that, and Florian Angert, then, you know, that's a decision he's going to have to make. He'll look over his shoulder. He's so good at swimming. He knows how to navigate well. But, okay, so we're getting all of our athletes introduced now to the crowd, and that is Jan Frodeno, the three-time Ironman world champion. He's a 70.3 world champion. He's an Olympic champion. There's nothing he hasn't done. There's a great argument if he's the GOAT. Yep. Of triathlon. You know, I think there's a lot of goats out there. You know, Mark Allen, there's a lot. Yeah. But anyway,
it's a long history in the sport. He's definitely at this time he's one of the biggest names in the sport. That's with no doubt.
Absolutely.
And it's great to see him back racing after a little bit of time off with injury. But maybe this is his last year, and obviously he wants to probably come away with a European title and potentially a world title at the end of this year. So yeah, he doesn't settle for second best, that's for sure.
Yeah, and this being the Ironman European Championship, you know, you've got, you know, Dennis Chevreau. He is the defending champion, and we'll get a chance and an opportunity to see, you know, Dennis's interview a little bit later on. He talks about being the Ironman European champion and, you know, defending this championship. So it does mean a lot to him as we get set to get underway here. We'll just silence up here, and we'll get ready to announce the start. So we'll just take a moment of silence just so we get it underway. And there we go as we look down on the beautiful city of Hamburg. It is the gateway to the north in Europe. It's absolutely beautiful conditions on the Sunday morning that we have our male athletes of the Ironman European Championship in the water here. This is the Binnenalster. This is where the first part of the swim will happen today. They will go over to the second part in the Ossenalster, but you can already see that Amberger is pushing the pace off the front.
Yeah, I think it's hard to tell, but I think that they look like two pink colours. So there's a neon pink, which is Josh Amberger, and Jesper Svensson, who's in the pearly pink. It's hard to distinguish which one, but obviously you've got a bunch of guys within very close proximity at the moment. So you can see Florian Unger, I think, in the neon green there, maybe sitting in third.
Yes.
And when we get closer, maybe able to pick out where Jan Frodeno and Dennis Chevreau and the other contenders are here today.
Frodo was in fifth position, as we saw just a moment ago, but it is Amberger and Svensson off to a great start. Look at that. Frodo's, yep, he's over there right behind Florian Angert in the green cap there. You can see our media boat just panning alongside right now, and you can see Josh Amberger, the shorter arms of the two, yes, but being a lot taller than Josh there, but Josh has that perfect turnover. And when we get a good-looking shot, a very close-up shot, when we go into the Ossenalster, we'll be able to show you just how beautiful his stroke is. And we always talk about, you know, stroke on top of the water as opposed to the stroke underneath the water. Most